My name is Callan Flynn, and I believe my best assignment from this course is the Technical Instructions Project. In this presentation, I will describe how the problem-solving approach helped me to complete that assignment, and also what it taught me about my personal writing and effective communication. The problem-solving approach is a process used to assist in the creation and circulation of different forms of communication. The components of this approach include planning what the communication is, researching other examples, drafting documents to reflect your planning and research, reviewing your drafts and editing as necessary, and distributing the documents to your audience. The assignment I chose to review is the Technical Instructions Project. This involved constructing an original piece using household items that could easily be created and taken apart. The creation of the original piece was to be documented in a set of easy-to-follow instructions. The problem-solving approach was very beneficial to this process and will be explained in detail in the following slides. In the planning phase, I needed to create a topic, and I developed an idea of creating a table and chairs using DVDs. I needed to consider my audience, which would include individuals who are at least 18 years old and can comprehend the English language. For formatting, I followed the examples in the textbook and also referred to the grading rubric for this assignment. For components, I knew I would at least need DVDs. For research, I realized that the best type of DVD to use would be single-disc DVDs due to their consistency in size. I needed to collect the materials and went around my home gathering all the single-disc DVDs I could find. I also wanted to view examples from other manufacturers and reviewed instructions for their products. In completing my drafts, I made sure that the table and chairs would be the final concept. As I created the project, I took pictures for each step of the construction. In creating a first draft, I placed my photos into a document and included text to describe the process. The text and pictures were arranged so that the audience could easily comprehend them. In the review process, I would first read it aloud to make sure the language flowed well and also look over my work by making sure it followed the project's rubric. After personally critiquing my work, I would seek the opinion of an outside source, such as a trusted writer. I would ask them specific questions in regards to things I wasn't sure of and wrote down their feedback. Then, I created my final draft by implementing all of the changes suggested by both me and the trusted writer. For the final distribution phase, I determined what additional documents were required for the project. Those included the review from my trusted writer, stating my purpose for the assignment, and also providing a detailed description of my intended audience. Then, with all of my work organized, I submitted all of my documentation to the course's Dropbox tool for review by the instructor. I did have success in utilizing the problem-solving approach. I was able to locate and edit mistakes that I would not have seen otherwise without this process. By using each step of the problem-solving approach, I was able to keep my work organized. By having others review my work and researching similar projects, I could see my project from multiple viewpoints. The problem-solving approach is very detailed, and I was therefore able to trust that my writing was sufficient. In using the problem-solving approach, I learned a lot about my personal writing style. I realized that I tend to overanalyze my work and get caught up in the small details. In doing so, I can lose sight of the big picture. I also came to the conclusion that I am fearful of rejection and sometimes lack confidence to trust my writing. I have always known that I tend to procrastinate, but through this approach I realized why. I want my writing to be perfect, so if I feel as if I don't have the time or energy to make it flawless, then I will put it off. In using the problem-solving approach, I learned a lot about effective communication. I realized how important multiple viewpoints are, as it allows me to adjust my work so that more individuals will be able to understand and be interested in it. Imagery is also important, as it aids in both grasping attention and comprehension. I learned that language does not need to be full of technical jargon to be effective. The presentation of the work is also crucial, because it needs to be adjusted according to your audience.